You draw the slate. Yeah. From Hoss Memphis Stadium on the West Bank, Crescent City Sports is proud to bring you Louisiana High School playoff football, as tonight is a first-round matchup in the Class 5A bracket as the undefeated and number 2 seed John Ehret Patriots take on the number 31 seed, the 4-4 Thibodaux Tigers. Hi again, everybody. Lenny Van Gilder along with Wade Kaiser. And Wade, at 231, you immediately look at it and you might have some thoughts about what this matchup might not be, but there's a lot of talent on the field this evening. Before we get to that, though, It's playoff time, and you've been through this enough times.
Right.
Doing this Thanksgiving week, which is a couple of weeks later than normal. Talk about the focus. Talk about everything that goes into leading up to this week.
Well, I mean, normally, if everything was normal, okay, but this is 2020, of course. It isn't. This would be the quarterfinal week on the bracket for playoffs. And even though this is week one, you're still having to deal with, the holiday. You're still having to deal with a change in routine from getting up in the morning, going to school, getting your kids out of school, getting them practice on the practice field at normal times like they've been doing the whole season, to probably practicing in the mornings. You might have to go pick them up at home in buses and things of that nature, get some extra buses to run. So the routine is different, but it's those teams that make sure that they try to stick to everything on their practice scripts and their normal practice routine when they get on the field. Those are the teams that those are the coaches that try to make sure that part of the routine is all under control.
As the Patriots take the field, we're going to see a lot of talent on both sides of the football, particularly on the defensive side. Let's start with John Ehret and their outstanding senior defensive back, Kane Williams.
That's, everybody wants to know what star is he, and that makes a big deal in the recruiting circuit these days. But he's a 4-star player right here out of Louisiana. I think at the next level, and I've heard at the next level also, and he's going to be a strong safety outside linebacker for the Crimson Tide. You'll see him play there tonight. They'll use him all over the field. We will also see him carry the ball on offense some. He's an outstanding athlete. He's got a lot of versatility.
No question about it. And then as you look at the Thibodaux side, Coach Chris Dew got very high on his defensive front, and he's got a sophomore who could be one of
midfield, right in the center of the field. You see him at the 30-yard line. Jamian. He's going to be a great one as he becomes the senior he's going to be.
Ehret and Thibodaux coming up to kickoff. But first, we pause for our national anthem. Our national anthem on a cloudy evening in Harvey. There is a chance of rain in the forecast, and you hope that doesn't play a factor. At one point earlier today, Wade, the chance of rain was literally 100% at kickoff.
Well,
no rain at this point. It's about a 20% chance of rain as we get underway this evening with winds out of the west-southwest at about 5 miles an hour. The chance will increase a little bit as the evening goes along and we turn into the overnight hours, and you hope, for the sake of good quality playoff football, that we do not have rain this evening.
Right. Well, let's knock on wood. There isn't any. That'd be nice.
Second time we've been here this year. Of course, we were here several weeks back, De La Salle, St. Charles Catholic, and that was a rainy night, although it managed to stop just in time for kickoff. Perhaps we'll get the same. Well, it's captain's right out at the center of the field for the coin toss.
And we do have a synthetic turf field here tonight, so that should take care of that problem. But still, everybody talks about not playing in mud and all that when you're playing on turf on a synthetic field. That ball still gets wet and it becomes extremely slippery on that field. So.
Kane Williams for John Ehret. It's Drake Pierre out there for Thibodaux. Again, the 2020, you just have 2 officials and 1 captain for each team handling the coin toss operation. So Thibodaux appears to have won the toss. Or at least they're going to get the football first. John Ehret will kick off from left to right as we view it.
You're listening to Game Time. Jefferson Parish is committed to slowing the spread of COVID-19. When you wear a mask, you protect others. When others wear a mask, they protect you. Enjoy the game, and please obey the signs posted throughout the stadium.
You hear the announcement reminding folks to wear masks throughout the stadium. Things a little bit tighter in terms of COVID restrictions after the governor's order to take us back to phase 2. And seeing just about everybody in the stands complying. Set to go from Hoss Memphis Stadium in Marrero. Thibodaux will get the football first. And Ehret will have Michael Gross handling the kickoff duties. And that is Owen Murillo, one of the running backs and wide receivers who we'll see for Thibodaux in the center and deep. And here we go with playoff. It's going to be right at the sticks. Let's see if they will move it.
Quarterback keeps it, rushes, just got first down.
Well, let's see. We may get a measurement here very early, although the near side referee is saying to move the chains at the first down.
Jamari Black did a nice job from his cornerback position to fight off the stalk block to come up and try to set the edge and let everybody come from inside out on those Navy jerseys from John Ehret. That's what you've got to do defensively. You always hear the words, the terms every Friday and Saturday and Sunday. You got to set the edge, set the edge, set the edge. And the widest guy in the defense right there, the corner, Jamari Black, did a nice job doing that.
So from the 32. Give it away on first down and nowhere to go as there were 3 Patriots in the backfield that time to meet Wesley.
Well, that was led by big number 42, Caruth Wilson, 6 foot, 230-pound junior. I mean, nobody touched him. I mean, he stepped right up, and it was like hello to the running back and stuck him right in the teeth. I mean, the offensive line from Thibodaux is going to have to be able to put a body on those zone schemes, or it's going to be a long night for those running backs.
They have some size up front, but
yes, they
no
do.
doubt there is a quickness advantage to the men in navy blue. 2nd and 12. See trips to the bottom. Little play action this time. Roderick trying to get to the outside. Finds his man. That's Gio. And he will get the first down and then some.
Well, Guillotte comes from clear across the formation and runs out into the flat off the bootleg. They fake the stretch one way, boot the other way. You'll see Guillotte come across the formation here to the offense's right. He'll slip right through. Nice job by the quarterback right there, Rodrigue, to get out on the edge, find the wide receiver, and now it's a first down. Thibodaux, I think a nice little drive going here.
Yeah. Rodrigue to Guillotte. They're putting us to the test with our Cajun knowledge right off the bat here tonight, Wade.
Well, you got to live down the bayou.
There you go. You spent some time down there, more than me. From the 48, already 2 first downs on this opening series by Thibodaux. Quarterback keeps and will get it back to the line of scrimmage.
You know, that's one of the things Thibodaux wants to do tonight, Lenny. They want to be able to control the ball. They want to control the clock, hold on to the time of possession as long as they can, because that's a potent offense when John Ehret comes on the field, the way they've been scoring points all year.
Yeah, talking to Thibodaux coach Chris Dugas before the game, the one thing he emphasized was don't turn it over and control the clock. That's... You put those two, they can go hand in hand. Feels like the strength of this team is his defense.
Right. Well,
especially losing the 2 key players that he's lost on the offensive side.
Well, that's always a winning formula in a lab, right? I mean,
there you go. Trying to get to the edge. And a nice job of cutting it back inside there. Wesley on that sweep. Looked like he didn't have much, but turned it up inside and got a gain of 6.
Well, he puts the foot in the ground and he gets north and south. I like that. That's what running backs are supposed to do. He comes in with 27 rushes, 143 yards. You know, he's a nice-looking kid, 6 foot, 195-pound junior.
And we mentioned Alamon out. Their regular starting running back, Ferrante Miller, is another one of those guys who's out with contact tracing. Those are really the starters that are affected. There's a lot of depth that is impacted by that contact tracing as well. And maybe as much as a third of this roster who would normally be here tonight is not. Flags before this one can get going. Well, our officials tonight from the Baton Rouge Association, and it is offside against John Ehret. This is going to be a first down.
Keeps that drive moving. You know, you talk about that contact tracing. That's going on all over the state. And we'll talk later. There's a number of games, even in the first round, that teams are having to forfeit because of either, positive that have led to contact tracing issues within their schools, within their teams. And, it's just a terrible thing. Schools are fighting through it the best they can, holding to the protocols. And, it's just something that everybody's been having to deal with all year long.
We had a dozen schools either withdraw or have to forfeit because after the brackets were announced, they were unable to play. At the 41, this is Spencer Boudreau, who's we'll see quite a bit tonight on the defensive side of the ball, but he gets a carry right there.
Thibodaux tries to get their best athletes on the field. They go full house backfield right there with three backs, no tight ends, and they give it to Spencer Boudreau, who we'll see later, I'm sure, when the defense comes on the field playing linebacker.
Yeah, he's the middle linebacker and getting a chance to carry the ball right there. We'll see as many as 4 different backs this evening. We've seen Wesley. We've seen Boudreau now carry the ball. Wyatt Claymore, along with Owen Murillo, who was the deep man on the opening kickoff. Flags before this one can get underway. It's a sideline warning against John Ehret.
Hey, whoa. I mean, I'm chuckling. I got a few of those in my time. I mean, the whole idea is the safety thing. They have the 2-yard rule from the boundary. You've got to stay back behind 2 yards, and you've got to keep your kids back 7 yards from the boundary. That's why there's a box.
A box that's wider this year because of COVID.
Right.
Quick throw. That is caught. And a first down and then some to Owen Murillo. Thibodaux continues to march on this opening drive. That down to the 20-yard line.
Real quick pass. Get it out into Murillo's hands. He turns around, gets north and south real fast. Couple missed tackles, and voila, you've got another first down, and the drive keeps moving for the Tigers.
Gain of 21. Kane Williams on the stop there, we talked about earlier. So Thibodaux, this drive started back at their 22-yard line. They have had it so far for 9 plays. Murillo coming this way. A nice job that time by Andrew Jones to stop that from turning into more. It's a gain of about 3.5.
That showed you the speed of Andrew Jones right there. You'll see it on the replay because when Murillo gets the ball right here, the whole edge is gone. You'd think that he's going to walk into the end zone. Here comes number 3 out of nowhere. Whack right there. And he makes an open field tackle right there. That's the reason why Andrew Jones' offers from Arizona State, Georgia, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, decommitted from Memphis last week, and he reopened up his recruiting process.
Yep. He's got more than 20 offers out there.
Right.
So
I mean, I could sit here all night and start calling off schools. He's going to have more by the time it's signing date.
Just about a month away. Trying to get the edge now with Boudreau. And I believe that was Jones again with the pursuit.
Number 30.
Check it. That was Williams that time. 5, not 3.
Right. John Ehret plays nothing but man coverage, so they're sitting right there in man coverage, and you can see the sweep right here. It's the read sweep again. He gives the ball off, and look at the speed. Chasing him down right there. These guys in Navy, they can run, you know. And if you watch them play defense, they get off of blocks real well. And that's what a defense is supposed to do. You've got to get off a block, defeat the block, and you got to pursue to the ball. You got to rally to the ball, and that's what they've been known for as long as I've been coaching in this city.
From the 18, play action. Rodrigue fires, caught. 1st and goal, Thibodaux. That was Murillo once again.
Again off the boot action right there, but they covered the flat route coming across the formation. Murillo from his wide receiver formation looks like he checks up some sort of curl route right at the sticks, and the ball's right on the target for the first down. And Thibodaux's in work here inside the 5-yard line with this nice drive and taking a lot of time off that clock.
Which we can't tell you exactly how much it is, but we can tell you it's a lot.
Right. I leaned over to look at the clock, and I said, well, it's got to be a lot.
Now we're seeing this jumbo formation that we thought we would see with a couple of defensive linemen in the backfield. They'll run it that way, and into the end zone for a touchdown is Khalil Wesley.
Well, he walks into the end zone unimpeded. Nobody touches him. That jumbo formation where they're bringing in Malik Burrell and Lamar Winston and Jamie and Buxton, which we'll talk about later. 3 big defensive linemen just clear that thing out.
3 yards on the touchdown run by Wesley to cap a 13-play, 78-yard drive.
Well, that's just what the doctor ordered for Thibodaux. That's what their game plan was coming in tonight.
Yeah. So Guillat, whose name we've called already, handles all the kicking duties, drills that one, and it is good. And just like that, Thibodaux, the 31 seed, drives the length of the field and takes a 7-0 lead over John Ehret. Wade, your thoughts on the opening drive here is just it wasn't a tremendous amount of passing, but when they did, they were very effective with again a different quarterback in there in Rodrigue, other than the guy who's been starting for him from several years in Alamon. He steps up and makes 3 beautiful throws on that opening drive to account for 54 passing yards.
Well, he made 3 throws when he needed them, okay? And that's the secret. And I've got a feeling, and I know you talked with Coach Dugas before the game, and he alluded to when Alamon's finished his senior year this year, probably Rodrigue is going to be his quarterback of the future for the next 2 years. And what this does for the young sophomore, it gives him confidence and the rest of his team confidence moving forward, whether they win tonight or don't win tonight, but just moving forward with the football program in the next couple of years. He makes 2 or 3 big passes on bootlegs to the Guillat, and he keeps the drive moving. Now, John Ehret hurts themselves with one of those lining up in the neutral zone plays where it's going to give you the automatic. It gave them an automatic first down for 5 yards on the penalty. So, but it's just what the doctor ordered for Thibodaux, as I've said before. This is part of their game plan. It's going to be interesting to see what they can do now defensively against this extremely potent John Ehret offense.
Line drive kick goes through the end zone for a touchback. So Ehret will take over at the 20-yard line, and we'll get our first look at the Patriots on offense, led by the sophomore quarterback, Royal Falgoux.
Well, Ehret's been, scoring 37.7 points per game. So, I know Coach Dugas feels real good about his defense. He's going to get tested tonight by this Patriot offense.
Yeah. They will run out of the spread, and the key, at least for Thibodaux, is going to be keeping those plays inside the tackles under control. Did a nice job there on first down as they stood up Amai Cargo for a gain of about 2. Cargo, top running back on this Patriots team, 5'9", 178 pounds, a junior.
You'll see a lot of zone read, and you'll also see a lot of RPO. That was RPO that time. They're going to look over and get everything off the boundary. They'll no huddle, and they'll go tempo when they want to. All of the things that you're seeing that are most prevalent today in the college game.
Well, play action there, and the pass far side incomplete. That was intended for Xavion Thomas.
That's RPO right there. They got the count they needed out on the flank, out on the edge, and everybody's block and run up front on the inside zone. They pull it out, though, to the number 2 receiver, but it just wasn't on target.
So 3rd down and 8 for the Patriots. Falgoux will throw on the run. Caught. What a catch on the sidelines, and then he turns upfield for a first down and then some. Wyquan Townsend, the 6'2", 205-pound senior, 26 yards on the play.
Well, that's what's scary. I mean, you do everything you're supposed to do defensively. You flush the quarterback, and then all of a sudden the ball just jumps out of there that quick on a broken play, and you get a first down. I think we've got a flag here for offsides by Thibodaux.
And indeed, that will be the call, so it'll be
offside defense.
1st and 5 now as Ehret will cross the 50 to the Thibodaux 47-yard line.
Ehret was lining up and going quick after the first down play. You might see that every time they get a first down, they'll get to the line of scrimmage real fast and try to get up tempo to try to catch the defense off sides, or just try to catch them out of breath.
3 receivers to the bottom of the screen. Now they'll bring, that's actually Falgoux in motion, and they lined up in the Wildcat. So Falgoux was lined up as a wide receiver on that play, came around in motion, and that was Thomas on the carry.
Correct snap goes to number 11, Xavion Thomas. He picks up another Ehret, first down.
He gets 7 yards, and remember it was 1st and 5, so that'll be a Patriot first down at the Thibodaux 40-yard line. Tigers scored on the first possession of the game, went 78 yards in 13 plays. Ehret looking to answer right now. Started at the Patriot 20. They've now got it at the Tiger 40-yard line. And now it's Falgoux back at quarterback. And this is Jones lined up next to him at running back. And flags before this one can get underway. Believe it's going to be a delay of game coming all the way from the back judge.
Well, this is the sloppiness that you don't want to have in week 1 of the playoffs. They got clock issues here, too.
Yeah, I don't know if the play clocks appear. No, they're going to wave it off.
Okay, there we go.
It looks like the play clocks may be operating, but that's about it.
Right. We're going to talk about him all night. Royal Falgoux, the quarterback of John Ehret. Boy, is he an athletic talent. He's got it running in his family. We'll talk later who he's related to.
Falgoux will take a shot down the far sideline, and it is intercepted. Drake Pierre, the senior captain, comes up with the pick on the pass intended for Wyquan Townsend, and Pierre makes the interception at the 3-yard line.
Oh, the ball's just thrown in the air. It seemed like it was just hanging out in the air all the time, and that allows the defensive back to be able to catch up. Initially, the defensive back was beat on the route, and like I said, the ball's sailing in the air, and it's up, and it's up, and it's up. What that does allows your defensive back to gather ground and catch up real quick is what he did to be able to get back, make a play for the first turnover of the game.
So Thibodaux will take over now deep in its own end, 3-yard line.
Got to be careful down here.
Rodrigue takes the snap, gives it away, and getting a couple there is Wesley on the carry out to about the 5. Sudden wind picking up a little bit.
About 2 yards.
Normally they say if wind's coming, then it's a good sign in terms of stuff falling out of the sky, but let's hope that's the case anyway.
Yeah, don't say that.
Second down and 8. Of course, we work outside here at Hoss Memphis. They limited the number of people that are in the press box as whistles will stop this before it gets underway. It looks like it's going to be offside against John Ehret.
Again, you can't line up in the neutral zone. That's, the second or third time tonight for John Ehret lining up inside the neutral zone.
So 2nd and 8 now turns into 2nd and 3, and that's a big difference when you're a play caller.
Offside, John Ehret. Thibodaux picks up 5 yards on the penalty.
So 2nd down and call it about 2.5. There's that full house backfield again. This will be a quarterback sweep. Rodrigue looking for somewhere to go, and he's got nowhere to go, as there are just a ton of Patriots there to stand him up. And Rashad Harris, the 246-pound senior defensive lineman, was the first guy to get there.
Rashad Harris got off his block, and he just met Ian Rodrigue right in the teeth for a no gain right there. I mean, like I said earlier, this John Ehret defense can get off of blocks, and they can run, they can pursue, and that's the name of the game defensively. Looks like we got a timeout here.
Timeout, John Ehret. Talk about this 3rd and 3, and look, you had some chances in the opening series, Wade, as you go back and look at it. They had 2 3rd and 4s and a 3rd and 8, and Thibodaux converted every time. Now, one of those was the offside penalty that turned it into a first down, but there was one was a run, one was a pass, but you could bet that it's going to be coming somewhere through Ian Rodrigue, either on a run or on some kind of rollout pass play here.
Well, Ian Rodrigue will obviously be the guy to the start of it. Look for the guys, his go-to guys, Owen Murillo, Gage Guillot possibly. Those are the guys that he's going to look for right there. So they'll set up something, I'm sure. I would think off a play action right here to try to get one of those guys loose and to be able to deliver the ball.
So from the 10, they had the ball at about the 10.5 a moment ago. Now they've respotted it right at the 10-yard line. That's going to be a first down run. Nice job of cutting it inside by Khalil Wesley.
But they run the outside stretch right there out of a full house backfield. 2 tight ends, 3 backs. Pound the ground right there. Khalil Wesley does a nice job stretching, putting the foot in the ground and then finding a hole and getting up inside and getting the first down for the Thibodaux Tigers.
I believe that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Without a clock to go by, all we can do is judge by the ball being moved by the officials across the field. 12 minutes in the books, and a surprise in the making, perhaps. It is Thibodaux 7 and John Ehret nothing. Quarter rated chip, I didn't do it.
We're running.
Thanks, sir. We get set to start the second quarter. Crescent City Sports Prep Football brought to you by Thibodaux Regional Sports Medicine Center, offering a comprehensive program with a team of certified athletic trainers, fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians, and orthopedic sports medicine-trained physical therapists to effectively manage injuries and safely return athletes to the games they love.
Got a zone read right there by Rodrigue. He pulls the ball, disconnects. He gets the read off the defensive end. Last guy on the line of scrimmage who chases after the running back. He pulls the ball, and he just doesn't pick up much because of that defense just rallies real fast and gets to the ball and takes down Rodrigue before he had a chance to pick up a lot of yardage.
Loss of 1 on the play. 2nd and 11 at the 15. That's one thing it seems like Ehret has managed pretty well is the quarterback run. Rodrigue last week had 11 carries, 186 yards, and 3 touchdowns in a win over South Lafourche. Rodrigue rolling this way, firing in and out of the hands of his receiver, Rashad Winslow. And that could have been a huge play.
Rashad Winslow running the 7 route, or some people call it the post corner, whatever you want to call it. He's wide open. Nobody in the secondary from John Ehret reacted to the 7 route right there. It goes right in and out of his hands. And, you know, he's going to wake up tomorrow morning and he's going to say, get me some thumbtacks or something. You got to catch that football in big games like this right there. That would have been a huge game for Thibodaux.
So now it's 3rd down and 11. Thibodaux 3 out of 3 on 3rd downs thus far.
Well, let me say this. Rodrigue put that ball right on the money. Nice throw.
Whistle before this one can get underway, and it's a timeout called by Thibodaux.
Timeout, Thibodaux.
So let's talk about some of the in-game adjustments that you're going to see here, Wade. I mean, obviously, John Ehret really only had 1 game of film on what they might be able to see, on what Thibodaux would try to do offensively, you know, with some of this new personnel out there. What are the adjustments that you're going to see Reggie Rogers and his staff have to make here to account for what Thibodaux is doing?
Well, I think right now it's just a motivational factor. I mean, he knows he defensively is more talented than Thibodaux is offensively. And look, Coach Dugas knows that too now, right? Okay. So what he's got to do is he's got to kind of the proverbial put a foot in the rear end of some of his players. That's the first adjustment he's got to make. The second thing I think he's got to do is he's got to make sure he's shutting down some of these play-action passes that you're seeing Rodrigue is having some success on right now.
Line to make is about the 26. Rodrigue. Little screen pass, and waiting for it was Andrew Jones to blow it up. Incomplete. It was intended for Guillot.
Andrew Jones snuffed that out real quick. Nice little setup on the screen. Everything's ready to roll. Watch Andrew Jones close this down right here. Everything slips through. Nice job by Rodrigue. Boom. Hello. I mean, Andrew Jones is a big-time player, and he loves to play in big-time games.
So we'll see the punting unit for the first time. Guillot handles the punting, and deep for John Ehret, it's Xavion Thomas. That punt got partially blocked, perhaps. It didn't go very far, and everybody will get away from it here. It's going to be down right at the 30-yard line, and it may have been Kane Williams that got through and applied the pressure.
Here's another look at it. I think you're going to see Kane Williams get a hand on it, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if we can see it on our replay. Oh, no. Well, no, Kane Williams was close. Couldn't get the number of the other guy that came from the Thibodaux left-hand side of the formation. Came through and just smacked that thing down, and John Ehret takes over in great field position. They've done this all year. They've played on other teams' side of the ball, and that's one of the things, the reason why they end up scoring 37 points a game.
That's what you've got to do. So they will start this drive at the Thibodaux 30-yard line, trailing by a touchdown. Give it away on first down. Jones fumbled the football. Ball is loose. It was on the ground there for about a second before any of the Thibodaux players realized what had happened. And Thibodaux heads up play.
This is one of the things you were talking to. We've seen a little sloppiness tonight, right? Okay, this is one of the things we were talking about in the pregame show about, what's going on Thanksgiving week with your football teams. Well, routine changes, and so does kind of these little mistakes that end up popping up that you don't have in the regular season.
Nice run on second down. That was Cargo to take it out to about the 25-yard line.
All coaches worry about that. If I'm changing routine, is it going to affect the way we play on game night? I'm telling you, it happens at all levels.
Going with tempo here on 3rd and 5. Now they'll check with the sideline. Cargo first goes to one side, moves back to the other. He'll take it on 3rd and 5. And he is going to be stood up short of the first down, as there are a host of Tigers there. And finishing him off is Lamar Winston, the senior defensive lineman who Chris Dugas described as the best of his bunch on defense.
Well, they try to change the tempos to get you to not be able to substitute, try to get you a little bit winded, try to get you not to be able to make your checks, not to be able to recognize formations. So it didn't quite work out for them that time, and it brings up fourth down.
Fourth and about 2 to go. Trips to the top of your screen, and it's Cargo, the sidecar, alongside Thibodaux.
Blitz.
Caught on the middle screen, and a touchdown-saving tackle on Xavier Thomas, but it's going to be 1st and goal right about the 10-yard line.
Well, Thibodaux brought the blitz inside. They also brought the strong safety off the edge. The strong safety almost picks the ball off. He would have gone yard if he would have gotten that ball, but somehow that ball sneaks through and sets up a nice 1st and goal for John Ehret.
Give it away on 1st down. Cargo churning, fighting. He is going to be stopped short of the end zone at the 1-yard line.
Well, this is what they do. They get the 1st down and they jump right into that fast tempo or race car tempo or NASCAR tempo, whatever you want to call it, and that puts a lot of pressure on a defense to have to get back lined up, catch their breath, and adjust to what you're getting from the offense.
2nd and goal with the 1. Give it away to Cargo once again. He is stood up at the line of scrimmage. Wow. And Thibodaux saying they got the football, and they do. And look who's got it, but Jamie and Buxton came away with the football.
Oh, my. He runs into the wall. What's the John Ehret running back right here? Smack. It looks like he also ran into the back end of one of his offensive linemen, and then Jamie and Buxton jumps right on the ball as it pops out of his hands. Got somebody down for John Ehret. Let's hope he's okay. But I tell you what, this is a huge turnaround for Thibodaux High School.
So 2 possessions and 2 turnovers thus far for John Ehret.
I mean, Cargo looks like he runs right into the back of his own offensive lineman, number 55, Kyrie Lee. And Kyrie Lee's a big guy now, 6'3", 340. He's like running into the wall. Ball pops out, and then right there is Big Baby to jump on that thing. And what a turn of events for Thibodaux.
The injured player was Cargo, and he appears to be going off without any problems there. Like Thibodaux had a little bit of a gimp as he came off the sidelines. He's working on.
Well, let me ask you a question. If you run into a wall like that, I think you would be limping off too.
No doubt. No doubt. So 2 turnovers and 2 possessions for John Ehret. And Thibodaux will take over at the 2-yard line.
Again,
leading this one 7-0.
Again, starting inside their own 5-yard line like they did on the last drive.
Going with that bunch package, give it away to Wesley, who will get it out past the 5, out to about the 7-yard line. You just got to get out of the shadow of your goalpost right here, Wade. That's the first. This is now 2 drives in a row off the turnover. Thibodaux has started once at the 3 and once at the 2. And that's the first thing you got to do when you're, what they call these coming out drives, when you're backed up in the shadow of your own goalpost.
Well, you've got to get some breathing room. But you know what I really like down there, and a lot of people go to sleep on it? I like to take a shot down there because a lot of times that will get you out real quick, but you can also get on top of a sleeping corner or something of that nature down there.
So they'll go big again. Buxton is actually lined up as a tight end in this formation, and that appears to be a 1st down there for Khalil Wesley.
Khalil Wesley makes a nice cut on that inside zone right there. He got a crease to get some room to pick up that 1st down. Here's a good look at it. Look at the hole right here. There's a great cut right there. You see the jump cut right into the hole. And nice job by the Thibodaux offensive line that time.
And we saw Ehret with a lot of tempo. We are not going to see that from Thibodaux. They want the clock to run.
Yeah, we said that's part of their game plan.
Yep.
They want to control the time of possession. And so far they've done that.
Give it away on first down. This time there is penetration into the backfield by John Ehret. It's going to be a gain of about 1. And once again, that was Wesley.
Looks like it was Jahmai Stewart coming from his cornerback position, coming in off the edge to make a play right there. Also, there were a lot of other John Ehret jerseys tucked up inside on that hit.
Thibodaux, if you're just joining us, went 78 yards and 13 plays on the opening possession of the game. John Ehret has had it twice. They've turned it over both times, once on an interception, once on a fumble down deep. That's where we are. Off the left side, it is once again Wesley who is turning into the workhorse. He's got 5 on that one. It's going to be third and manageable, about 4 to go.
Handoff goes to number 20.
Well, Wesley's going to have to be the like you said, the workhorse tonight because they've lost their their number 1 starting tailback, Ferrante Miller, who you said was out with contact tracing.
Yeah,
so,
and you've got you've got other guys. He said we would see Boudreau, who we've seen.
You'll see Murillo back there a little bit.
You'll see Murillo. You'll see Claymore. So there will be some other guys lining up in the backfield as well. But so far, it's been predominantly number 20. Now trying to get to the edge, falling forward. He is right near the sticks. This is going to be all about the spot on the run by Rodrigue, and let's see where they put it down.
Big hit from number 3, Andrew Jones.
I think he's got the first down.
Well, he just got the first down. He also just got knocked into next year by Andrew Jones. What a great job by Andrew Jones flying across the formation and lighting him up, but also a great job by Rodrigue falling forward and with the never say die attitude to make sure that he picks up the first down.
The rain has started to fall here.
John Ehret jumps into their first zone coverage that I've seen tonight. That might be an adjustment that they made on the boundary on the last series.
From the 22. We'll try to get the edge this time, and that is Murillo, still on his feet, out near the 30-yard line.
Running the sweep, trying to get a Murillo across the formation. He just has the never say die attitude also. He gets one hit, he bounces off it, gets hit again, bounces off of it, and he gets out there and he has a nice gain to put a nice manageable second down for the Tigers.
John Ehret will take a timeout, kind of settle things down among their defensive troops. This is a bit of a surprise early on. Second quarter, Thibodaux leading John Ehret 7-0.
With 4 minutes and 40 seconds left in the half, Thibodaux still leads 7-0.
4:40 the time on the clock, as we've been informed. And wait, talk about that timeout right there. That was pretty quick, right. And obviously Reggie Rogers and his staff saw something that they wanted to try to settle down their defensive unit and make some kind of adjustment.
Well, I see one adjustment they had made on the sidelines. They're playing a little more zone coverage this particular series, but I think that timeout was about attitude. I mean, sometimes you just got to bring the kids over and you got to tell them how things have got to be and what we're not doing right, and we've got to get ourselves to the ball and we've got to tackle. I think that's what that was.
2nd down and 2. A nice stop right there, but I think it's still going to be right at the sticks for Khalil Wesley. And I believe they're going to move him along. First down.
Again, it's all about the spot right there. That could have been just shy, or it could have been right on the sticks, and it looks like they got the spot, and it was right on the sticks right there. It's all about the spot.
Well, what's
all about the
interesting?
spot.
What's interesting is they've made 3 first downs on this drive, Wade, and they made every one of them right at the sticks. They've gained exactly 10 yards on every set of downs thus far. Another handoff here on first down, and that is going to be Murillo, who is lined up, or check that. That's Wesley.
Wesley gets the ball, pounds it up hard inside. Nice job by the John Ehret defense to recover. Big hole right there, and then all of a sudden it closed up real fast.
Third time's a charm. It was Boudreau on the catch. I knew I saw a 3 in there. 30 Boudreau.
We said we were going to see Boudreau tonight.
Yeah.
Here's a good look at Boudreau right there. He kind of dances in the backfield. You know, you can't do that. You start pity-patting your feet before you hit the line of scrimmage. You got to put your foot one cut and go north and south.
At the 34. Rodrigue throws. What a catch! And on his feet and headed towards the end zone is Winslow. 66 yards for the touchdown.
Lenny, they came back to the same play that he dropped on the 7 route that we talked about earlier in this particular drive, right in his hands. But that time he makes a terrific one-hand grab. Ball right on the money by Rodrigue. Touchdown, Thibodaux.
9 plays, 98 yards. They needed 8 plays to get the first 32. They needed 1 to get the last 66.
Take a look at it again. They're going to sprint to their right there, and you're going to see the ball delivered right there. What a catch, a one-handed catch right there by Rashad Winslow. After the last time he dropped it, you love to see that. Kid comes back on the same route and makes a big play again. And that was, something that Winslow, I'm sure, checked himself with when he got to the boundary after the one he missed earlier in the drive. And he said, never again. And that ball was a great catch by Winslow.
So we should be under 4 minutes here in the first half now. We're 4:40 at that timeout a moment ago. And this is a 14-0 Thibodaux lead. And I'm sure there are people around the state right now seeing this score. And perhaps they're a little surprised. But this is a Thibodaux team that won 3 of its last 4 games to finish 4-4. 2 of their losses this year were by a total of 4 points. So maybe it's not a complete surprise that this team was maybe a bit underseeded, and so far they're showing us that this evening.
Well, I think you're going to see a lot of that around the state on these brackets. I mean, just think about it. You had to play 4 games to get seeded, right? Okay. So let's say you play 4 games, all right, and you become a lower seed. And really, you're a pretty darn good football team, and you're just getting guys back from contact tracing and all types of COVID issues, and all of a sudden you start coming into your own. Some of these teams have fresh legs, and some of the teams that you're meeting that maybe played 8 games are banged up. A lot of things can happen. This is going to be a wacky bracket.
Sign of things to come, perhaps. Kickoff is over the head for the second time of Cargo and through the end zone for a touchback.
Well, he had the wind at his back. He definitely took that, and that wind took that ball. And, the wind now is coming out of the east, looks like northeast, and it took that ball and just completely sailed it back into the end zone. John Ehret just can't, panic right here. They've got all the tools and the things they need to get back into this ball game. It's what they've got to do is they've got to get some sort of answer because they just haven't had the ball that much this half, and this is a vital drive for them. They've got to start getting some first down sticks.
Remember, they get the ball to start the third quarter.
That is correct.
So you can get on the board here before halftime. They got a chance at effectively a back-to-back.
They've got to put together a nice drive and not put it on the ground.
Quick pass by Falgu near side here. That is caught by Xavion Thomas. It'll be a gain of about 3.
John Ehret is going to spread the ball around. They're going to get into the hand of their athletes, and they've got athletes at all their skill positions, and that's what the job of this young quarterback, Royal Falgu, who is the younger brother of Perry Nicholson. If you're from New Orleans, everybody knows that name, and Tulane. Who played at West Jeff years back.
Yes. That's Cargo on the carry. Gain of about 3. It's going to be 3rd and 4.
I think Perry Nicholson's in the NFL now, if I'm not mistaken.
He's been in and out of the league here for the last couple of years. Certainly that kind of skill set. Was a terrific DB at Tulane.
Correct. So Royal Falgoux has it in his bloodline, right? And we say, I was talking about that prior to him throwing that interception earlier in the first quarter.
So from the 26th, got to get it right to the 30-yard line. Falgoux will throw it far side, and it was a low throw, and Thomas had to go to the ground to make the catch. So the incompletion would have been better, but instead it's a loss of 5 on the play, and I think Thibodaux is going to call timeout, and they will give themselves a little more time. And perhaps the clock is running now. We see 2:11 on the clock.
This is a 4th and 9.
Well, that's Thibodaux's second timeout. They'll get the ball in great field position. John Ehret will be punting into the strong wind, as I've said, coming out of the east. The west. I'm sorry. And so they're going to have a timeout left.
Yeah, the winds. This front is coming through. The winds have been out of the west-northwest and the northwest. So kind of a crosswind from the near left side to the far right side as you view it.
Right. And so that's going to help Thibodaux on this particular punt. They're going to get the ball at nice field position if they field it. First key is you got to field it in the wind.
Yep. So 4th down and 9 at the 21. And Ehret will punt it away with Michael Gross, the senior. Gross and Oscar Avalos share the kicking duties for the Patriots.
Oh my goodness, that could have been blocked.
And that will check up and be down at the 40-yard line. So this could be terrific field position coming up for Thibodaux with 2:03 remaining.
And one timeout.
In the first half. Still a timeout in your pocket, too. So Thibodaux has had to work with long fields so far.
They're not going to know what to do with this.
Not now. They're starting on the plus side of the 50 at the 40-yard line of John Ehret, leading this one 14-0. Rodrigue sends a man in motion, will keep it, fake the jet sweep, and go right up the gut for about 3 yards.
It's another read play for Rodrigue. I don't think that's designed. He's reading the play side linebacker right there. If the linebacker flows with the jet sweep, he's going to pull the ball and ram the ball back up into the B gap right there, which is what he did. I have a feeling Rodrigue sometimes misreads things because he's so young. He wants to run the football and have the ball in his hands, which is what most athletes want to do.
Sure. And he's suddenly thrust into this situation. Rodrigue, backside pressure that time. He is brought down. That is Kane Williams bringing him down for a loss of about 1.5 yards on the play.
This is what he's going to do at Alabama, folks.
Number 5, Kane Williams, seek ground for a sack.
There you go. I mean, need I say more, right? He comes off the back edge on a design blitz right there, and he's there lickety-split, and he makes a huge play on Rodrigue in the back, almost strips the ball out of his hands. And I'm sure right now that the Alabama folks, hopefully they're tuned in watching this on CCS, and they're saying, and they're licking their chops, they're going to get a great one out of John Ehret.
Injured player they're looking at on the field right now. Believe that might have been Jamal Stewart. Check that. That's one of the Thibodaux players out there.
You know, Kane Williams right now, we're talking about this guy, 6'2", 215 pounds, you know, in about 4 years.
That's the quarterback. That's Rodrigue, who may be down on a play. Let's make sure he's okay.
Oh, my goodness. I hope he's fine.
Kane, he's got to come out of the game, certainly, for a play. This could change the whole dynamic of this football game.
It's going to be interesting. They'll bring in their third quarterback, or they might go Wildcat.
Let's see who they line up with right here. You see A.J. Alford looks like he's going to line up at quarterback. He's listed on the roster as a defensive back. He is a senior. So it'll be Alford operating this offense right now. We'll give it away on third down, and not much room to run right there as Khalil Wesley is stopped right at about the line of scrimmage.
Well, all right. You know, the thing about an offense right there, you just watch your quarterback get taken off the field kind of dazed and not breathing too well from the hit, and that kind of demoralizes you a little bit, and that might cause you to deflect from what your job is up front and blocking somebody, because definitely they didn't block anybody right there. So,
John Ehret uses a timeout here with 56 seconds remaining.
You know, sometimes I try to say things in a nice manner. and you know, I some of my players, my ex-players, hear me talk on some of these broadcasts, and they say, you would have never told us like that. Very nice, and which is true. But here's the thing. As a player, in your mind, you just watched your quarterback, who has put together some nice drives tonight, who has come in for your starting quarterback, all right? And you've gained confidence with this young man and this player at your side for the past couple of weeks, just get carried off the field. All of a sudden, you get put in the tizzy, and you just don't know how to react.
Well, the good news is there's 56 seconds before halftime.
Right,
so you
exactly.
get it into halftime, you got all of the break there to see if Rotary can continue.
Exactly. Well, and that's the Alabama commit that just lit him up, right, coming off the backside edge like that. And I was, talking about how good this guy's going to be, 6'2", 215, in 3.5 years from now. He's going to probably be about 235.
I said Alford on that last play. It was 16 Guillot, who's now back to punt right here. So he's a guy who's done a lot for this team. And he's going to fake it on 4th down and 8. Trying to get to the edge. He will not get there. And John Ehret's going to get the football on down. So they pulled out the fake on 4th and 8 in their own side of the field. And Guillot is stopped short of the first down.
I mean, honestly, at the time on the clock, what do you have to lose, right? You're going to burn clock, everything else, and he comes up just a couple yards short right there. I like the call, and it's still going to force Ehret to have to go a long way on a drive in 47.3 seconds in order to put some points on the board, which they can do in lickety split with one hand off. But I like the call. A lot of guts by Coach Dugas.
Play action on first down. Pressure and brought down with one hand. Falgu is sacked, and that was Jamie Buxton.
Jamie Buxton right there. Nice job, and you can see why this sophomore has such a great future in front of him. Watch him work here. He comes off of the John Ehret right edge and just grabs one hand around the quarterback and slings him down.
Directing traffic, Falgu lets one fly, incomplete, no flags.
Well, the crowd didn't like that, so maybe we'll get another shot on our replay here and see what type of contact was made down here at the bottom of your screen. A lot of times there's a lot of hand shoving and things are no call. Let's just see what we've got here and let everybody be the judge at home. He breaks deep off the scramble right there, and see if you can see at the bottom of your picture. You really can't, but from my vantage point, it looked like there was a little shoving on both sides, a push off,
exactly.
And it might have been a good no call.
No harm, no foul. They'll give it away on 3rd down with Thibodaux backed up, and Cargo will get the first down. So Ehret is 6 seconds here to line it up, spike it perhaps, and perhaps get another shot.
Clock will start the minute to get the change set, so they're going to have to either have their play in and have it called, or they're just going to have to spike it and then get the play in.
2, 1, and they will get it snapped. Falgu steps up from the 45. He's going to let one fly. He's got a man down there. It's caught for a touchdown. Xavier Thomas got behind the defense on the last play of this first half, and a 55-yard touchdown as time expires.
Well, you saw the arm of Royal Falgu right there, and we said he was an athlete, right? So he throws the bar, 55 yards right there? In the air, sailing to a wide open behind the secondary. Xavier Thomas gets behind everybody from Thibodaux for a huge score going into half. Remember, John Ehret gets the ball to start the second half.
And potentially a huge momentum swing as well.
First rule of thumb, Do not let the receiver behind you with 2 seconds left on the clock. How many times do we see that? We saw it the other day with
Tulane and Tulsa,
right,
the last
Tulane
play of the
and
game.
Tulsa, exactly.
Point after try is good, and we are at halftime. And just when we were talking about everything going wrong for John Ehret, they make a big play happen on the final play of the first half. Your halftime score, Thibodaux 14, John Ehret 7. Wait, both the
fixing to walk down there and really praise his guys, but the first thing he's got to do is call his secondary over and say, let's make sure that doesn't happen again. And then John Ehret just got a tremendous amount of life off of that with the throw from
that was Falgout
right,
to
from
Thomas.
Falgout, right? And Falgout just lets that thing fly. And like I said, he's got an arm on him, and he's
no doubt
he's a great athlete. So you're going to go in from the John Ehret standpoint. You've got to clean up a few things that we saw in the taking place in the first half, and like I said, they can climb right back into this football game in a matter of seconds, and they showed you what type of striking ability they have.
We get to halftime, and obviously, like you mentioned, first night of high school football playoffs in Louisiana, and it's been it's been interesting here.
Well, I think it's going to be
the rain and the wind is picking up. Yeah,
and I told you why, and I think COVID and all the weird things that have gone on this year that schools have had to try to adjust to, and you're going to see it happen in the playoffs.
Sure. The winner of this game plays the winner of East St. John Woodlawn of Baton Rouge. That game airing over on Your View tonight.
That's two good football teams.
That is, and Woodlawn leading at 9-6 in the second quarter. West Monroe at home leading Chalmette 7-6 second quarter. That's a 10-23 game.
Say that again, please.
West Monroe leading Chalmette 7-6 in the second quarter.
Oh my goodness gracious.
At halftime, Ponchatoula leading Santa Maus 7-0. I believe that's a 6-27 game in that bracket.
Right.
Of River Parish interest, Ruston leading Hahnville 21-10 second quarter. They're in the fourth quarter in Destrehan, and Destrehan leading Ouachita Parish 28-14. Second quarter score on the North Shore, Mandeville leading West Jeff by the score of 14-0. Second quarter, Acadiana leading Covington 23-0. Acadiana, of course,
right,
would be the chalk at this point in the 5A bracket.
Correct.
As you look elsewhere, some of the other games underway. Estruma leading Pearl River 26-7. That is a second quarter score. Belle Chase on the road, if you will. They're playing at Joe Brown leading Carver 14-7 second quarter. That's two New Orleans area teams facing off. Second quarter score, Landry and Cecilia are tied at 7 apiece. Second quarter score, Tioga leading Rain 35-0. Rain playing in the rain, perhaps. I don't know what the weather is like up Alexandria way.
It's raining and rain.
Maybe. Well, they're at Tioga tonight. So.
Well, they're the frog capital of the world, so they're used to it.
They are used to it. Halftime, Northwood of Shreveport leading Leesville 20-7. That's a lower seed with the lead at this point. Second quarter, Parkview leading St. Louis Catholic 14-7. First quarter, Hannah with a 6-0 lead over St. Michael. Second quarter, Turlings over Thomas Jefferson 35-7. First quarter score, Dutchtown over Terrebonne 6-0. Some of the other games that are underway here. First quarter score, Madison Prep over Bogalusa, 14-0. Second quarter, Lutcher on the road leads Grant, 18-6. Now, that's a 16-17 game right there. And what gets interesting there is if Lutcher, the 17 on the road, can win, you get a chance to come home in the second round.
Right.
And that's we've seen those happen before. If a one's going to get knocked off early, sometimes that's when it happens, when they got to travel. I remember, I believe it was 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, West Monroe was the 1 seed, had to go to Ponchatoula as a 17 seed, and Hank Tierney's club knocked them off down there. And in fact, Ponchatoula came here and played John Ehret in the quarterfinals right after that.
And I think we did that game that night.
I think we did. Second quarter score, Holy Savior Menard Catholic New Iberia tied 6-6. Second quarter, Kentwood on the road leading Jonesboro Hodge 14-6. Another second quarter score, Port Allen leading Pine 27-0. First quarter, St. Helena leading Vidalia 14-0. And second quarter, North Caddo over Welsh, 6-0. First quarter, Red River all over Lakeview, 28-0. First quarter, A-Meet, always a tough out in the playoffs, leading Capital, 20-0. Second quarter, Calvary leads St. Martin's, 21-0. Third quarter, Southern Lab over Opelousas Catholic, 20-7. Second quarter, Country Day over St. Mary's of Natchitoches, 14-7. And I believe that is most of the scores we have. A bunch of games tomorrow. There's even one game on Sunday. With Jesuit meeting St. Paul's. They got permission to play that Division I first round game on Sunday with the winner to play Brother Martin. So we gave you that one score in Division I tonight. Second quarter, St. Aug leading Holy Cross, 21-7. So that's kind of a rundown of what we've got. Look, they're probably all experiencing the same kind of weather that we are right now.
St. Aug Holy Cross played last week. I mean, I've been on the end of that many times. Excuse me, and where you just come off of week 10 and you're playing in week 11 the same people.
Team.
I mean,
you did it with West Jeff, as I recall.
I did it with West Jeff. I did it with a couple of teams from the Lake Charles area a few times. Sulphur a couple of times. It's some crazy things happening. Like I did it with St. Aug a few times.
Yep. And there's another one coming up tomorrow with McDonough 35 and Booker T. Washington facing off for the second time. So remember all the scores on our All-State Sugar Bowl scoreboard at CrescentCitySports.com. No better place to keep up with all of the action going on. I mean, you get around the playoff time, really people want to keep up with all of the scores that are going on out there. And
there's no better scoreboard and there's no better radio show than the original. I mean, if you want to get your scores now, on time, with a lot of insight with it, that's where you need to go, CrescentCitySports.com.
Yeah, check out the original on the original network statewide. 106.1 FM is the flagship here in the New Orleans area. So look at those. The Ehret band not performing here this evening at halftime. I guess the weather here has kind of thrown a bit of a monkey wrench on anything that was happening. You had the Thibodaux team out meeting in the end zone. The rain picked up, so they actually came in underneath the stands to be able to have some of their meetings. And we'll have to watch and see how the weather impacts this game.
Well, the rain is one thing, okay? It's the wind that's the other. I think the wind is going to be the huge factor coming in for the second half.
No doubt.
We are as relentless in our perfection as you are, treating more than 30,000 athletes per year. We are orthopedists, trainers.
Talk a little bit about what you're seeing. We mentioned. What are the things that you need to key on here? Both of these teams as we get ready for a second half.
Well, John Ehret's going to have to be more consistent, I think. You know, they had a nice drive there in the second quarter, and they got it all the way down to the 3-yard line, if you remember, and fumble the ball right there. They score right there. It's a 14-14 ball game. They've got to be a little bit more consistent on offense. but they're going to also have to turn around on defense and do what they do best. They've got to start creating some turnovers and forcing some issues on defense against this Thibodaux offense. What does Thibodaux have to do? Stay with their game plan. I mean, Rodrigue has done a nice job all night handling the ball, doing those sort of things. Let's hope we see him back out in the second half, as he took a huge hit just there in the towards the end of the second quarter from Kane Williams. So Rodrigue's got to come back out, hopefully, and continue doing what he's been doing, is picking and pecking and taking a shot when he has to, and keep moving the sticks and burning the time on offense. I mean, Thibodaux defensively is going to have to talk about not giving up the big play like they did right there towards the end of the second quarter on that long throw.
What does that do to a team's psyche when you've played perfect football effectively for 23 minutes and 59 seconds, and then you allow that play?
Hold on. You know the answer to this. You saw this happen to me when I was at Jesuit.
I did.
With a Hail Mary against Holy Cross in the end zone with a couple seconds left on the clock. My mood went from accommodating to not accommodating, if you remember that, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's all in what you say and how you bring your kids back around and get their psyche back in line. It's what you tell them and what you drive through to them, and what they need to do, and I'm sure Coach Dugas will do this, is, hey, look, time out. Let's make sure we understand what our purpose is, and let's make sure we continue doing what we did well in this first half. And we did a lot of things well, so let's have a short memory on that. Football coaches and football players have to have short memories. They have to have amnesia, right? So let's teach what we did wrong. Let's don't have it happen again. Let's forget about that, and let's go out and have a repeat of what we've been doing well in the first half. That's how you get the kid's psyche to come back around.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, a lot of people have written those type of books and made a lot of money on that type of stuff, but the last thing they say in the book is something like, better said than always done, right? It doesn't always work, but that's what you've got to do. Because you've got to get their psyche back in line and understand that one play does not define what they've done well in the first half and what's going to go forward in the second half. You've got to have, a short memory, amnesia.
One of the interesting things is, quickly took a look at some halftime numbers there, is Ehret, I think, had more yards in the last minute than they did in the first 23 minutes.
Looking at our radar, we're a complete service here. We can give you the game, we can call the game, and we can predict the weather. It's looking not bad. It looks like it's coming through right now. The front that they've been expecting here in South Louisiana.
Right, and you get the heavier stuff behind, and then you get the lighter stuff.
Well, isn't that what they said in that movie? The heavy stuff's not coming down for a few hours.
I don't think the heavy stuff's going to come down for quite some time. Yeah, exactly. I'd play through. It does happen that way. It does happen that way. Any scores surprise you?
Yeah, the Chalmette West Monroe score.
Yeah.
That's why I had to take a second check on that. I mean, I said, hold on, can you say that again? I mean, 7-6. I mean, Chalmette has taken it on the chin many times this year, and I think they took it on the chin by John Ehret, if I'm not mistaken.
John Ehret beat him. It was 34-20.
Right, but I mean, you're taking on the chin and you're giving up 34 points like that, and then here's this vaunted West Monroe team. You would think they would have their act together at where they are right now, but that just goes to show you, I think a lot of teams around the state right now don't have their act together, and the playoffs, it's who's going to be playing best at the end of the playoffs are the teams that might surprise everyone.
Wait, let's take a look at our halftime numbers, and one thing that really jumps off the page, not just the yardage numbers there, but the fact that of the yards that Ehret got, they got more than half of them in the last minute of the first half, including that 55-yard touchdown pass.
Well, you take the 55-yard pass away, it'll look extremely different. look at the yardage also by Thibodaux. 120 yards on the pass, and that was that big touchdown pass off of the second try on the drop on that 7 route, and that's a big difference. But also look at the total yards between both teams right there. You wouldn't think you would see that difference coming from a 31 and a number 2 seed.
No question about that. The numbers certainly suggest it's been all Thibodaux. It's really been even more all Thibodaux, except for that final play of the first half. Let's take one more look at the final play of the first half that has John Ehret in position to be in a one-score game here. The Hail Mary and the snap, Thibodaux steps up from the 45. He's going to let one fly. He's got a man down there. It's caught for a touchdown.
Navy jersey behind 3 white jerseys, and that's a cardinal rule on that type of play. You got to have one on top, at least one underneath to be able to press up against his body to be able to knock that ball down to the ground. And you see that at all levels. It happens all the time, and it's that's something that will Thibodaux continues on after this game will have to be corrected.
Both teams back on the field. We are just moments away from the second half kickoff. So, as we continue to check scores here while we have a moment and get ready for the start of our second half, St. Aug's extended its lead to 27-7.
St. Aug is one of those teams that had some COVID issues, and they had to drop some games, cancel some games back in the Catholic League a few weeks back. They just might be hitting their stride right now.
No doubt about it.
I mean, they took it to Holy Cross last week, who had their own COVID problems a couple weekends ago, and now they draw Holy Cross in the first round of the playoffs, and those guys, like I said, they could be getting it all back together right there as they're heading into the first round of the playoffs tonight.
Well, the St. Aug Holy Cross winner gets to head to Shreveport to face Bird.
Well, that's an interesting team. I haven't seen anything on them as far as looking at them. I know they're an option football team. Coach Suggs up there for years has been a wing tee option type of team. I've known him from years back, and that brings an interesting, preparation factor for a team that's got to go on the road, all right, and then has to prepare for option wing tee football.
No doubt. That's a long trip. That is a very long trip.
Done it, not to Bird, but I've done it to Airline.
Yep. Teams gathering up in their respective end zones as we get set for a second half of football.
I think wind's going to be the factor more than the rain's going to be. I think the rain's going to die, but the wind's going to pick up coming out of the northwest, as we said earlier. And I think that's going to be something that we'll notice to see how it's going to affect the quarterbacks and the kicking game.
So the Patriots will head back to their bench. The Tigers have made their way back to theirs, and we just lost power here at Haas-Memphis Stadium.
Well,
I think the lights went out, but I think there's still power in the press box.
Well, we could still do our job. Can they do their job down there? That's going to be the question.
I don't think they can.
Oh, my goodness.
So...
well, they got flashlights out.
There you go. Everybody turn on their cell phones in the stands, and we can get ready for some football.
I see lights blinking all over the West Bank here, with shots of lightning in a lot of areas. So if this could possibly,
I didn't see lightning per se. I did see like a transformer in the distance. It went. Right. I haven't seen
that could have been what I saw.
We saw some lightning strikes in the distance early.
Well, somebody's got to call the power company.
Yep.
Well, but the scoreboard's on.
You see, that's what I'm telling you. We have, it's just the lights went out. So I don't know if something tripped the lights, and we can, we can get ready for football here, hopefully shortly. What we're going to do is, while we do that, we're going to take a bit of a break and just leave it right there for you. And we are, we're in a power delay, I guess, is what you would call it, until we can get the lights back. And hopefully we can get them back sooner rather than later and let you know what's going on. So stay with us as we wait here with hopefully some football still to be played. So stay with us right here in Crescent City Sports. All right, we are back here with an update. Unfortunately, I think our broadcast is finished for the evening because this game is now being moved from Hoss Memphis Stadium to Joe Yenny Stadium for the finish. They're going to shoot for a restart at 9:45 p.m., about an hour from now, which simply doesn't leave us enough time to break down all of this equipment, move it to the East Bank, reset it all up, and be ready to go. It's not that simple. I wish it was.
Well, I mean, Thibodaux I'm sure, was given an option of either moving the thing, playing it, finishing it tonight, or deciding to come back early in the morning. As you and I have discussed earlier, Joe Yenny, there's going to be, here at Hoss Memphis, there's going to be a game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So that means Thibodaux would have to go all the way home, sleep fast, right? Sleep real fast, get stuff washed up, get back on the bus about 8 o'clock in the morning, come back up here. Yeah. So I'm sure they elected to move over to Joe Yenny. They want to finish this thing tonight. Right. The sad thing about it, as I told you, Lenny, is Thibodaux's playing the game of their life right here as a 31 seed against a 2 seed, up 7 going into the second half. This really hurts momentum and things of that nature, and it's a shame we can't bring the rest of it.
Now, we will have full coverage for you at CrescentCitySports.com. Just stay with us. We'll keep you updated via Twitter. We'll have full coverage of the game when it's all said and done, but we can obviously not finish this broadcast based on the circumstances. So, kudos to Chip Merritt, to Matt Merritt, to Albert Garrett, the guys who helped get us to this point and stayed out through this weather to keep hope alive that we could do this. But some decisions are made without us in mind. So we'll keep you posted on exactly what's going on. Again, stay with CrescentCitySports.com for everything that's happening.